Good morning. Welcome to Black Politics with Chris Owens on Air America Radio. I'm your host, Chris Owens, bringing you an hour of empowerment and progressive politics from a black perspective. So today, on Saturday, April 19th, we're finally looking at the Pennsylvania vote. It's taking place next week on Tuesday, April 22nd. And let me start with some personal notes. First of all, happy Pesach to our listeners who practice Judaism. Yes, Passover was the holiday of choice in our house. It's not typically black, but remember, we're talking about the half-black, half-Jewish guy here. Freedom from slavery and universal respect were what mattered. Haggadah was an out-of-print progressive version with footnotes from Lincoln and Darwin, Jefferson, and others. The Seder plate, for those who are not familiar with it, contains a number of symbolic elements, one of which is the bitter herb. Did somebody say bitter? Yes, that word has become a piece of America's political history. So I won't rehash what elite listeners like yourselves already know about the story, but I'm going to share some thoughts with you. First and foremost, the Obama-loving blogger who shared Senator Obama's remarks with the world did the right thing. Those of us who wear the mantle of public discourse, we are facilitators, and we should not follow the right-wing Republican model, but the Democratic model with a small d. That means empowering people with the truth. Our motto here at Black Politics with Chris Owens is a thinking people is a powerful people. And we can't be powerful if we only see and hear what we want to. We cannot enable our leaders to stay on the right path if we do not do what Professor Cornel West pledged to do, and that is to be a critic with love. So I want Ms. Mayhill Flower, the blogger for offthebus.net, to know that I am an Obama supporter. I am an alternate delegate to the Democratic National Convention from Brooklyn and a graduate of Harvard and Princeton who has been accused of being elitist. And I think she did the right thing in sharing Obama's bitter linkages of religion, guns, and insecurity with the world. Now, why do I say this? When he attempted to explain to some well-heeled San Franciscan donors the challenges that he is confronting on the campaign trail, Senator Obama stumbled. He's human. He's imperfect, and his desire to rationalize what may simply come down to base prejudices on the part of some folks in America was well-intentioned, but also both clumsy and stupid, and he admits it, essentially. But candidates will do that, particularly smart ones who believe for a moment that their intellectual prowess can transcend some political ground rules, and those candidates always suffer. But I am bitter. I am bitter at Obama's political advisors. The first rule of every campaign is to stay on message no matter what and no matter where. I know this because I've been there. I've been a candidate for community school board, for city council, and for United States Congress. And I was messing up regularly. And if it is hard to stay on message for those small races, it must be incredibly hard to do so when you're running for president. But there are people being paid big bucks to help the candidate stay disciplined, and they have failed on more than one occasion. You can't always control funky campaign staff people or funky spouses, but the candidate has to get enough rest, has to be well prepped and on his or her toes, and most importantly, the candidate must be controlled. Just ask former Virginia Senator Makaka Allen. So, Senator Obama is a great person, and he will be a great president. But this is about politics, not greatness. It is about winning, not showcasing. It is about votes, not sentiments. With a 6-week run up to next week's primary election, there was plenty of time to craft brilliant, intense, personal, issue-oriented ads to run on cable, network, and the internet throughout Pennsylvania. There was plenty of time to have a real bus tour that did not showcase the candidate's weaknesses like his bowling, but his greatest strength, the ability to listen. And it is so ironic that the Obama advisors have failed to drill home to this particular senator the fact that he must never use the word they unless he's talking about his opponent's campaigns. He should always use the word we, which instantly embraces everyone and humanizes any commentary, whether you're talking with a campaign donor in a townhouse or a potential voter in a strip mall. Obama is the candidate of yes we can, yet he has been skewered not by the word bitter, but by the exclusive and prejudice inherent to the word they. This senator, who neutralized much of the furor around Reverend Wright by being inclusive and identifying as part of a greater community failed for critical moments to be equally transcendent and inclusive of whichever Pennsylvanians feel a part of Obama's bitterness. That is the real tragedy here that the advisors have allowed to happen. Fortunately, it does not have seemed to have been a politically fatal blow, despite the tag team repetitions of both Senators Clinton and McCain that Obama is elitist. And furthermore, some of Obama's advisors repeatedly underestimate Senator Clinton's strengths. Senator Hillary Clinton is a top-tier and most worthy opponent. This is a candidate who was a bulldog in another life. Nothing can be taken for granted, and no moments may be casual when campaigning against her. When Clinton hit Obama on the bitter remarks, it was petty, it was substanceless, it was desperate, but she did throw the Obama campaign on the defensive. She has blithely insulted John Kerry and Al Gore, the two previous Democratic nominees who arguably beat George Bush, and framed the primary discussion as a referendum on class identity. And the Obama campaign let it happen. That's ridiculous. What a joke. But when Clinton celebrated the NCAA championship victory of the Kansas Jayhawks, she hit one troubling note, that the Obama campaign has a tendency too often of emulating the Memphis Tigers' inability to make one free throw and clinch the 2008 national championship for themselves, and I was rooting for Memphis. The response to bitter was indeed to be better. The deed was done, and awkward explanations and apologies never help. Obama should have given one response through a surrogate and then released a new positive ad every day during these last 2 weeks to keep the media guessing and focused on what he was doing next that is positive. These ads don't need to be expensive. They just needed to address the issues and address the intangible but ever-present discomfort that some Americans feel with Obama by including his own children and other family members, amongst other things. And Congressman Patrick Murphy's face should be all over the state of Pennsylvania endorsing Obama's leadership in Iraq and any other issue they can think of. Murphy is an Iraq war veteran with a family and a great personal profile. You just can't beat that. So, Pennsylvania is the key to the nomination. Every possible resource should be in that state. The candidate should never leave that state. If Clinton does not win by at least 9 points, she becomes a fascinating and historic footnote. But if Obama does not keep it close or win it, there will be a momentum shift that could wipe out any advances made in Indiana, Oregon, or even North Carolina because of the fickleness of nervous Democratic leaders, because that will rise to the fore. Momentum is everything, and there is no reason on earth why Obama should not have it after next Tuesday, unless his campaign simply gives it away. You are listening to Black Politics with Chris Owens right here on Air America. You know, with modern media, one-way streets don't exist anymore. We do want to hear from you too, so send me an email to blackpolitics@airamerica.com. That's blackpolitics, one word, @airamerica.com.